Happy to right here. It's Pro Football Today. It's Kevin Walsh, Donnie Rightside, and Joe Lisi getting you set here to hopefully talk about Adam Kaplan, NFL Insider. And, man, there's a lot of interesting stories out there. One we softly alluded to earlier, though, and I'd love to get a chance to talk to a little bit more. The Davante Adams situation at Las Vegas, I feel like I'm just randomly, walking through my NFL season. We're all good. We're all calm. And then the Raiders are screaming out of their window, hey, we're not trading Davante. Stop asking. Like, I didn't ask. I didn't think you were going to trade Davante Adams 3 weeks into the season. Now I feel like something's up. Now I feel like this team is in disarray. Antonio Pierce, what a terrible coach. This guy can't control this organization. He's talking about benching Gardner Minshew after losses. His defense gave up $1 million. I don't know what's going on in Vegas, Donnie, but you're usually somehow always in the room. What's the conversation?
This whole thing never made sense. Like, don't you remember, just a few short years ago, hey, you know what? Derek Carr's our franchise quarterback. We're going to have Davante Adams bringing his best friend. We're going to have Jacobs in the backfield, and away we go for the next 5 years having a great trio here, and they're all just about gone at this point. And you're right about Davante Adams. When you have a wide receiver that's that good, making that much money, and it makes no bearing on the outcome of your season, that's a tough pill to swallow, Joe. So when we do hear the trade demands or the non-trade demands, we should say, they should be actively trying to move him, Joe.
They should. Is it the Jets in the running at this point?
Yeah.
Get that marriage with Aaron Rodgers and make the AFC Championship run?
Yeah, I think when you think about the Davante Adams situation and again, the Vegas Raiders, landing on Gardner Minshew. Some of the issues there for that football team is when you're choosing between Minshew and you're choosing between Aiden O'Connell, that's just not good enough. You're going to be up against the 8-ball all of a sudden there when you're the Las Vegas Raiders.
But here's the thing. I mean, they lost a terrible game to Andy Dalton in Carolina. Season's not lost. They could still potentially be a playoff contender or a wild card contender in regards to some of the other teams in the conference. So why give up now in the month of September? I mean, it
feels like, Joe, they gave up 2 years. Because they had their foundation, franchise quarterback, franchise running back, and franchise wideout. And the best part about that franchise running back was hey, look, we're going to run him wild in the Hall of Fame preseason game because we don't want the guy. Then he leads the league in rushing. So who knows what's going in for the Vegas Raiders. But also, isn't there a sooner than later time that you're going to say, we are officially going to restart this thing, and maybe O'Connell's not your quarterback, and why are you starting Minshew? It's a mess out there right now.
It really is, but when is it enough? They have a great stadium, great fan base. People want to go watch the product.
Yeah.
You can't be like the Carolina Panthers and just roll out scrubs. At this, I'm serious. I mean, you have a potential Travis Kelce player in Brock Bowers that was supposed to elevate this team and take them to at least a playoff spot. I just don't understand it. Unless Davante Adams says, you know what, I don't care, I want out, get rid of me, and he just sits out, then that's another aspect.
My thing, though, with Vegas is, see, you were a little in on them coming into the
I was. I took I mean, they gave me plus 350 to make the playoffs.
I'm not taking a shot at you.
Right.
My point is, somebody who's out on them.
Right.
Yeah, let's go. Move it along.
Move
Davante out of here. I don't, and I would be I'll say this, right? Davante hits the market. I mean, you're talking about a huge changer in terms of wherever he lands. I don't know how many teams will be, capable, I guess, of making that deal. I don't know what those ramifications are. I know the Ravens will be a team everybody says should make the move to get a wide receiver in there. I mean, imagine if Buffalo ends up also with Davante Adams out of nowhere.
That would be
great call, Donnie.
Well, if he does, would you change your assessment, big picture, in regards to where they would be in the AFC?
You know what's funny is I've already started to shift some of it from what I've seen. Now my feelings would be invalid because now I don't think they would have a very, I don't think they would be all that weak at the wide receiver position because then you have Davante Adams and all these guys that have been stepping up all season.
It would be true. By the way, you look at people most likely are saying go to the Jets. Let me tell you something right now. Garrett Wilson quits that football team if he ends up there.
Would
it
the
really
Eagles
does.
or Dallas be involved?
The Eagles, no way. There would be fist fights in the locker room daily if he came to Philadelphia over who gets that football. No shot. I think the Bills is an awesome fit, though. But Kansas City gets him? Here we go.
No,
right?
Why Kansas City?
Why not?
First-round draft choice worthy, Rice breaking out. I mean, I know Kelsey's not doing anything. I don't feel like Kansas City would be.
If he goes to Kansas City, now you're back in the game saying we're as explosive as any team, and it's a wrap.
Would they take a shot?
No.
I mean,
they say, you know what? Take a pay cut down to 10% of your contract, then we'd love that.
I'm pretty sure. I'll tell you this right now, and me, Donnie, Higgins, and Chase don't show up to that building if they trade for Devontae Adams.
They trade for Devontae and give him an extension.
Well, they know that Higgins is not going to be there.
That would be a good one.
I'm just saying.
But I also
if they get rid of Higgins.
Well, what about some of these teams that are surprises? I know Minnesota is invested in Addison, but all of a sudden you're the Vikings. You're like, I don't know, we're in the mix more than we thought we were supposed to be. I know they have Justin Jefferson, right? But I'm just or Pittsburgh. They were in the market for a wide receiver all offseason long, right? Could the New Orleans Saints look for a guy like something like that?
Yeah, why not? Pair him with Lavi when they
Ravens and Buffalo just seem like.
See, the Ravens need a legitimate. They still don't have a number one. I mean, Flowers is good, but he's more of a secondary option. I said Dallas. You said no.
I didn't. When did that exchange happen?
I said. Would a team like Philly or Dallas be in the mix? He said Philly, no. But you didn't touch on Dallas.
Yeah, you didn't come right back in on Dallas. Come on now. What kind of etiquette is that?
It sounds like you had a 1-2 conversation and blamed me for the result.
I posted to the both of you. Go back to the tape. I know I said Dallas.
We just skipped over something. It was something we were going to get. It doesn't look like we're going to have Cap today, which, that's TV
the business.
Sometimes. Yeah. We were going to get into Kelsey. Where are you guys at on this Travis Kelce thing? Because I'm telling you, if I'm grading it on the Donnie Rightside scale, he got 25 plus. He had a great game.
Yeah, he got right through his all.
I mean, blasted through his number. What I think is the most damning thing, and listen, for the Chiefs, they're 3-0. Like, I know it's fine. But in terms of Kelsey producing at the level we've come to know, is all of those 3rd and 6, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? They all go to Rashee Rice now, Donnie, not Travis Kelce.
It is incredible because there was a 5-year run where I used to sit in front of my TV and go, it's 3rd and 8. Kelsey is getting this football. Double cover him. How is he wide open out there every single play? Trust me, it's not Andy Reid not scheming him to be open, Joe.
No.
It's not Patrick Mahomes. He just can't deliver the football. There is something wrong with Travis Kelce, and maybe it's just finally you see a superstar player rapidly decrease in production in real time because he's just getting older and played a lot of football.
Yeah, it's possible. I will say this. I mean, he did have a great game against L.A. last year. I think they try and force-feed him a little bit in terms of this matchup. Maybe he goes over his number. He might even score a touchdown. If he's non-existent in regards to the offense today, after they made it a factor all week and brought it up in press conferences, then he's at the end of his career, and you utilize him in certain types of situations, which for him is a playoff run, right? It seems that when he could smell the Super Bowl, he finds that extra little.
He was great in the playoffs.
Little oil,
unbelievable.
He certainly was, but again, not that I'm covering for Travis, but because I was involved with him certainly Sunday night. That's what happens, right? You bet a guy, you watch a lot more of their reps. There were chances he could have had. That is not Pat's first read anymore. And I think that is really important to understand is he looks to Rashee Rice, and then he'll work through the rest of those progressions there. And I think that might be how Andy Reid is scheming it up. Now, that might be because of what you said, Donnie, that he's not the same guy anymore. But everything is different with the way I think Kansas City's approaching.
Well, it might also be that they want to obviously establish a new philosophy heading into the playoffs and not rely on Travis Kelce as much. So Pat's looking to the younger wide receivers to get them involved. I mean, Rashee Rice is having a fantastic season. I mean, one of the best in the AFC. So
it's impressive.
Definitely so. Definitely so. All right, we're going to be coming up against a break here, though, on Pro Football today. We're going to have the Pro Football doc. We hope join us here and get some of the latest injury analysis heading into a big-time Sunday slate. Where are there some advantages? Are the Rams as dire as many believe? What about that game in Houston with the Texans hosting the Jags? We'll try and get to it here on SportsGrid.
No.
Got to do the whip around. The helmet. If we can't hear him,
what are we doing?
tell me something.
Yeah.
And then we'll figure it out from there.
What we're going to do now, sell me?
If we can't hear Doc, we'll do something.
Right here with you on Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. Odds in motion, trying to see what lines have moved throughout the week.
Never felt more comfortable in this set than I do for this year. I'm ready. I'm just getting angry. The hot takes are going to be here all long, people.
What in the world is going on in Miami, Dom?
It's not particularly anything to shy away from just because many people are on top of it.
Hot take.
I think this line is asking you once again to take New Orleans.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
The sharpest football contest show in the land, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show, focuses on Circus Sports Million, Circus Survivor, and the Westgate Super Contest, handicapping the games and releasing our contest picks every week of the season. With two former Super Contest winners, Brady Cannon and James Salinas, a former NFL player, Mike Pritchard, and over $1 million in contest prize money won combined, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show will have you prepared this season like none other.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than game time decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Back right here is Pro Football Today, and we are now joined by the Pro Football Doc, Dr. David Chao, who the guys over at Six Score, I know, been having a great season, Doc. We appreciate you making some time. How has all the information been flowing leading into this Sunday?
Well, really good. On our podcast and stuff on Monday, we said Snoop Huntley is the starting quarterback, right? And he said Jordan Love, of course, will play. And then, all the absences in Philadelphia, down in Tampa, the two wide receivers and right tackle. So far, pretty good. We'll see about Justin Herbert. That's our last one.
All right, certainly something we'll keep an eye on. Maybe we'll get to that in just a moment. But, Doc, I want to begin in Chicago, where we are seeing a big advantage on SixScore.com, a 93.1 as I look at it right now for the Bears, nearly 15 points higher than the Rams grading. You see there on the field view as well, a very healthy Chicago offense heading into this game.
Yeah, and the Six Score advantage there for Chicago has very little to do with Caleb Williams, et cetera. Yes, you see the defenders on that field view, but if you flip the other way, with the Rams offense, you'd see over half, as you just showed here. The Rams starting offense is out. Both wide receivers, the tight end still out, a good portion of the offensive line, and a pretty healthy Chicago defense. So this is one of the bigger Six Score mismatches of the day.
It absolutely is, Donk. Let me quickly stick, though, in the NFC North. You mentioned the Jordan Love projection. And you guys absolutely nailed this. The national beat reporters initially, I thought when they came out with this, we're talking 4 to 6 weeks. Jordan Love back much sooner than that. How effective do you think he'll be today against Minnesota?
Well, I don't think he's 100%. He's going to wear a lead leg brace like a lot of quarterbacks do. So it's a matter of getting used to the brace and over the mental side of the injury, a little bit of rust as well. So physically, I think he's in the high 80s in terms of our Six Score. How effective, remains to be seen there. And, of course, there's some key absences in the Packers secondary, especially with Jair Alexander now confirmed out. And for the Vikings, besides Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison back this week.
Doc, if we take a look and head out to the state of California, double-digit favorite here, the San Francisco 49ers taking on the New England Patriots, and one of the mash units looks like it's on both sides. Can we start with the New England Patriots defense here? Looks like they're really banged up at the linebacking position this week.
They are, but they've been a good defensive unit, but they are banged up. But, the 49ers are very banged up as well offensively. Yes, Debo's playing. Yes, Kittle is playing, but how effectively? And Trent Williams with the toe there, when that happens, a lot of times Kittle stays in to block more than going downfield. So there's a lot of issues on both sides. And really the key one is the Patriots this season have hung their hat, even though they've had some offensive line issues, on running the ball with Ramondre Stevenson. And we know that Javon Hargrave is on IR, who's really one of their best run stoppers for the 49ers. So, 10.5 or whatever the line is a lot.
Certainly is. Let me ask you a question about Christian McCaffrey, too, Doc, and maybe this is right up your alley. Christian McCaffrey going to Germany to try to get some plasma injections in that Achilles. What procedure is he actually trying to get? And also, is there a timeline for him actually coming back to the San Francisco 49ers?
Yeah, the plasma injection is a growth factor injection, and the kind in Germany that was developed is still illegal in the United States because it's manipulated tissue, which is why he flew to Germany. It's illegal in other countries too, but it just started in Germany, so that's where he went. But what I've been saying since that happened, and now there are reports this morning confirming November, because of the injection this last or recently, he's out an additional 4 to 6 weeks before he gets back. So right off October, sometime in November is the slotted return for Christian McCaffrey at this point in time.
Doc, divisional matchup in L.A. We have the Chargers and Chiefs. Chargers have a 76.86 score. That's the lowest of all the teams in the NFL this week.
Yeah, and this is unprecedented. From last week to this week, the Chargers may lose 5 key starting first-round draft picks. That would be unprecedented. Obviously, Derwin James due to suspension. Joey Bosa already declared out. Both right tackle and left tackle are going to be out. Left tackle's not officially out yet, but I don't see Joe Alt playing. Justin Herbert says he's going to play. The national media says he's going to try and play through. He didn't get hurt worse last week in Pittsburgh, but he also didn't finish the game. So that remains to be seen, and he would be the 5th one. So that's a lot of what we call delta and change in terms of health in 1 week.
He was effective in the first half, and he got rolled up on and gave way to Taylor Heineke. Is there any type of preventative measures that they could take to obviously, protect that ankle heading into this matchup? And if he does play, can he push off in regards to the passing game?
He can push off some. The best thing preventative is there's no good way to tape, support, or brace. It's to make sure your right tackle and left tackle backups are able to block. And perhaps, guess what Harbaugh and Greg Roman love to do, run the ball more, right? And maybe that's the best protection, not to get it hit.
Doc, quickly before we get you out of here, we're talking about the Chargers, and their offensive pass grade is the lowest individual box you can find there on SixScore.com. The second would be the Browns' offensive run game. Some news earlier today, though, that Nick Chubb is expected back at practice. What would you guys expect for a Nick Chubb timeline this season?
Look, any Nick Chubb this season is a positive. Anything close to 100% or Nick Chubb of old is a positive. That was a knee dislocation. And I love it how you guys are looking at all the sick data stuff and all the scores. And that's the way it's intended. Some people want picks there. That's fine. Some people want data, like you smart guys, to use it and incorporate it in your decision-making.
At 100%, Doc. Again, it's very, very useful. Let me ask you this quickly, selfishly, Philly fan here. I was expecting to see the Eagles' grade a little bit lower, all in all, on SixScore.com. What kept them in the green for you guys?
Well, obviously some of the late rule-outs and so forth. Overall, they're healthy, but, obviously the defense is the other issue besides the 2 wide receivers and then the no right tackle as expected.
Yeah, all stuff we'll certainly be keeping our eyes on there with that game between Tampa Bay and Philadelphia. Again, go over to SixScore.com, get all the injury analysis and information that you need here on an NFL Sunday. The Pro Football Doc, Dr. David Chao. Sell Me Something's up next.
right here with you on Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. Odds in motion, trying to see what lines have moved throughout the week.
Never felt more comfortable in this set than I do for this year. I am ready. I'm just getting angry. The hot takes are going to be here all long, people.
What in the world is going on in Miami, Don?
It's not particularly anything to shy away from just because many people are on top of it.
Hot take, hot take.
I think this line is asking you once again to take New Orleans.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
The sharpest football contest show in the land, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show, focuses on Circus Sports Million, Circus Survivor, and the Westgate Super Contest, handicapping the games and releasing our contest picks every week of the season. With two former Super Contest winners, Brady Cannon and James Salinas, a former NFL player, Mike Pritchard, and over $1 million in contest prize money won combined, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show will have you prepared this season like none other.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Tell me something. We're heating up in this segment all of a sudden here. I was able to get a win on the board. Do you know if you won last week? You tell me something?
No, I don't remember. Was it Watson? Did I have Deshaun Watson? Or
That
was
sounds
that 2 weeks ago?
That sounds right. It could have been Watson.
I don't remember.
Donnie took a lot of pride, though, in the break, telling me he hasn't won and tell me something yet here.
Yep.
So it looks like you went to one of your old tricks. You named your wager. Is that the kind of
the wager?
It has to be, yeah. Exactly.
What's it
by
called?
the way, what is it called again, by the way? What did I name it? Hopefully it's on a graphic at this point.
Well, maybe you didn't name it. Were you just rooting on
No, I actually, I feel like I want to, start naming stuff and, get the, T-shirt behind it. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Put that bad boy
Marketing on the show.
You know what? I've never seen anyone try and market their own sayings on
Donnie's lead pipe locks.
Exactly. Lisi's martingale system. You know what I mean? We've got a lot of T-shirts you can put out here.
According to what is in front of me, crank up the diesel, baby.
That's it.
What does that mean, Donnie?
Now, look, Joe's going to appreciate this, too, because I feel like I had to bring him into this because he would be upset. If it was just like Breece Hall, let's go over 150-plus yards, alt that up because he's going to be a great running back. They're like, no. We're going to crank up the diesel today. Why? Because that running game is going to be a big indicator of why the Jets are going to beat the Denver Broncos today. Denver giving up 126 yards on the ground. How about this? We have to go with the parlay. We're going to go Braylon Allen over 35.5 rushing yards and couple that with Breece Hall over 66.5 rushing yards. You parlay that together, Joe, it's a plus 260. Everybody's eating in this game. Everybody.
I love the look. And here's the thing. This is why I'm completely twisted on this segment of the show. Breece Hall broke out with, I believe, a 100-yard performance last year against Denver. It's a wet track, right? They're probably going to look to keep Denver on the sidelines, run the football, especially with weather. How is that? I thought it was an ugly pick. That's you would think that the Jets would attack Denver in that capacity.
You're attacking my pick when I extended the olive branch out to include your guy, Braylon Allen.
My pick is better, I think.
Oh,
wow.
He's not a team player. There's no team to Joe Lisi.
No, I'm twisted with the segment.
You don't feel.
I feel like it's a great pick.
No, but
and I'll put it in. I'll bet it.
I think it's a great pick because I put Braylon Allen in there. That's how you're grading this pick right now.
Okay. I think Donnie's angle is I'm taking both Jets backs to break through their totals today.
Which usually doesn't
Lisi, though, you have to understand, is in on Breece Hall today and always thinks Braylon Allen's going to break through.
And he hates it.
But didn't both backs go through their total last time?
No, Breece Hall I don't think got through his number against New England.
Well, I was only caring about Allen.
So
great pick. It's great. I'll put it in.
They both had big games there. Listen, you bring those type of odds to the table, plus 260.
Yes,
we're getting some plus money on the board for people there.
You can't parlay that, though, right? You can't parlay.
It is a parlay.
No, I know that, but you could put it with my pick, too, and that's over Trevor Lawrence, the 222. I thought it was a special.
I got a special. Go ahead. What do you have?
I took Trevor Lawrence because, again, ugly pick. He didn't step up.
Now, stop. Hold on. You people see the graphic up there right now.
Minus 110.
Hold on. This guy was just like, this pick, 2 running backs is not. And then you flash up a guy that's making $200 million to have an average football game, as Selmy said.
Yeah, because again, he did for 178 last week.
That's what I wanted to say.
When I altered up to 250, it's like you're crazy.
Why didn't you do that?
Because let him get to 222 and a half.
We did this last year, and Joe scolded us for some of these picks. Like, this is just basically saying, like, let me take a good quarterback struggling a little bit,
doing that every week.
Number. Now, if you would have popped up, sell me something, 325, like, Joe's cooking on this one.
All right, so I should have altered this.
You should have altered is what he's saying.
He did. Yeah, because when I altered, he's
you don't come heavy, don't come at all here, Joe. Come on now.
All right, so I'll alter.
I'll just say, as again, someone who speaks fluent Joe Lisi.
Yes.
He legitimately thinks that his bet should have worse odds than your bet. Like, he doesn't really understand how Brees and Braylon isn't, like, he sees like that as already in the door.
Yeah, like
he needs to add 3 to 4 picks to yours to make it even make sense.
That's a great pick. Like, I just think it's like a given. It's already, hardest pick is in. I mean, it's already in the door. You got it.
Hard part's in. Where's this USA? I'll listen. So last week, by the way, I'll just throw this out there. I was going to do Watson for 3 passing touchdowns at 9-1.
There we go, juice.
If you'd like something. But, man, and boy, does this look good.
Whoa.
Last week I went to the specials market.
Yeah. Okay.
It was labeled the future.
Okay.
It was Caleb Williams and Anthony Richardson at throw for 500, and they blew through that total breakout Caleb game. I found another special out there. This is on DraftKings.
Wow.
Marvin Harrison Jr., Xavier Worthy, and Roma Dunzetico for 250-plus combined. 7-1 for the rookie standouts, Lisi.
Well, I like that now.
Too easy.
It's 112 for Dunze last week, 64. You got 180. You just need Worthy in the door.
Now look,
it's a no-brainer.
Marvin Harrison's probably going to get you $150. I don't know where the rest of the 100 comes from. I don't know where it comes from.
Marvin probably gets 200, but we're up against it.
Yeah, we're up against
outside. I think each guy can get the 150, but it's not going to work for Donnie. All right, whip around.
Right here with you on Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. Odds in motion, trying to see what lines have moved throughout the week.
Never felt more comfortable in this set than I do for this year. I am ready. I'm just getting angry. The hot takes are going to be here all long, people.
What in the world is going on in Miami, Don?
It's not particularly anything to shy away from just because many people are on top of it.
Hot take.
I think this line is asking you once again to take New Orleans.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
The sharpest football contest show in the land, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show, focuses on Circa Sports Million, Circa Survivor, and the Westgate Super Contest, handicapping the games and releasing our contest picks every week of the season. With 2 former Super Contest winners, Brady Cannon and James Salinas, a former NFL player, Mike Pritchard, and over $1 million in contest prize money won combined, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show will have you prepared this season like none other.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Time Pro Football Today. Kevin Walsh, Donnie Rightside, and Joe Lisi here. Let's get on into it. We'll go through all 13 games on this Sunday as we close out the final half hour, leading us into kickoff NFL Week 4. We begin in Carolina, the Panthers, a 5.5-point home dog. Total in this one dropping from 47.5 down to 46.5 here. I'm coming around on a big T. Higgins day in this one. All of a sudden, Lisi, I think you're looking similar.
I am. I think he hits pay dirt. His number last night was plus 195. Right now, it's plus 180 on FanDuel and multiple books, so keep an eye out for that. But it's do or die for the Bengals. You get abused on Monday night by a 7.5-point underdog in Washington. Your defense gets abused. Yeah, I do have a backup quarterback aging in Andy Dalton. This is the opportunity to step up. I think we go under the total, but I like the Cincinnati Bengals to rebound in a big way. I think they win it by 7 or more.
Yeah, by the way, Cincinnati Monday night, it wasn't so surprising that they lost the game. It was like, ooh, that's interesting. It was the fact that their defense just couldn't do anything, and that's not really the carbon copy of Luanaramo. He's going to get a team that, to me, isn't as talented as Washington, but also Andy Dalton. This is the best part about this, too. You might have been caught off surprise if Dalton was going to start this week. They're not coming into this game like, thank goodness, we're 0-3, an easy win. They better be prepared for this game because of how good Carolina looked, particularly last week on offense. I expect a good performance out of the Bengals, and sometimes I just like to keep it simple. Donnie, who do you think is going to win the game? It's the Bengals. No way I'm going to take the Panthers to stay inside a number below 7. I'll take the Bengals in this one.
I would lean towards Carolina, but again, I don't love this game here. Cincinnati by a field goal wouldn't stun me whatsoever. I am betting the side in this next one. Jets, Broncos, 7.5, 8. If you're betting the dog, get the best of that number. I'm on Denver plus 8 here. The Jets were laying 6 to New England on Thursday. I think the Jets are good. I think we've moved this number a little too far, not giving the Broncos credit for a great win in Tampa Bay, where not only the offense is getting better, their defense is sneaky playing like one of the best in football, the second best pass defense through 3 weeks of NFL action here. I'll take Denver plus the 8 on the road.
I'm with you. Back-to-back road games for the Broncos. I don't care. I think it's way too many points. I agree the defense has stepped up, and I think Sean Payton now wants to win games, utilize the rushing attack, ball control type of drives to keep Aaron Rodgers on the sidelines. And to Donnie's point as well, I think they're going to run the football with Braylon Allen and Breece Hall, so I lean to the under here, but I like the points with Denver on the road.
I do lean to the under 39.5 as well. Maybe this is one of Kevin's with like that Aaron Rodgers special. We got the football at 9 minutes ago in the fourth quarter, up 6 points here. We drive the length of the football field, take up 8 of those minutes, kick a field goal, and then obviously it leaves that backdoor chance coming back down the field. For me, I'm worried a little bit about Bo Nix. It's a really good defense that is going to play on the road, maybe a little bit of weather concerns, some drizzle, some rain here in the Northeast. I do think the Jets win this game, but I'm not willing to lay over a touchdown, but I would feel more confident in the 39.5, staying under the total.
All right, Donnie, looking under there. Falcons, Saints, a 2.5, 3-point number in this NFC South game. Another game I'm on the side here. New Orleans at plus 3. Minus 118 is the juice I had on that earlier today. While I understand we have injuries on both sides, I think it's important to emphasize we have injuries on both sides. The Saints maybe discussed a little bit more, but both of these teams down. Multiple offensive linemen here. Kamara up. Olave up. The Saints, to me, have looked better through 3 weeks here. Getting a field goal is critical in a divisional matchup here. I'm on New Orleans. I think they can win this game outright.
I'm with you. I like Derek Carr over Kirk Cousins. To me, that's the difference. I do feel New Orleans defense a little bit better, even though they're going on the road in terms of this matchup. If I do have a look, the Atlanta side, it is Bijan Robinson on the ground, but also to score a touchdown in regards to that number, Donnie, minus 120 in that area. I think he hits pay dirt. Had a big game last year, and again, I lean to the under. Don't like this total in any capacity.
Yeah, I don't like the total all that much, but actually, you saw that graphic up there. It must be moving here. 42.5 as we're getting live on a couple books at this point. That's interesting. But also, if we're just looking at from a handicapping perspective, 70+% of the tickets here coming in on the road team. That line opened up as minus 1.5. Now sits at a 2.5, and maybe some outlets possibly moving that to a 3. I'm going to go with the home team, Atlanta Falcons. I'm going to actually trust Kirk Cousins more than Derek Carr today.
Interesting spot there. Wondering if Bijan bounces back, averaging under 2 yards per carry last week against the Kansas City Chiefs. Packers and Vikings, another tight divisional matchup here where I'm sure some are sitting on plus 3 with Minnesota. 2.5 becoming that primary number now in the market. 44.5 is the listed over-under. I would be on Green Bay if I was betting this game on the side. But Jordan Love, in his first game back, has left me more hesitant in this big matchup in the NFC North.
Yeah, I think they're going to be prepared. We're seeing it clearly and on the same side. I lean to Green Bay in terms of this matchup. but I like the over here. I think we can get over the 44.5. I think Minnesota can move the football. Aaron Jones going back home, look for him to run it, look for him out of the backfield, catching the football as well. And I think both offenses could get into the 20s. Ultimately, I think Green Bay does win it and cover because they're home, but I think the total's the best play in terms of this matchup.
Yeah, if it's 2.5, I'll take the Green Bay Packers at home in this spot. I think they're going to be excited to get Jordan Love back, but also keep in mind, you have maybe the best wide receiver in football, Justin Jefferson, going up against a secondary for the Green Bay Packers, expected to be down both of their top two starting cornerbacks, that should make a difference. But I'm just trusting. If I'm getting a rusty Jordan Love, that's not a great thing. But LaFleur showed me a lot. Malik Willis back-to-back weeks, that offense was moving the football. Now you add Love back into the mix. I think those wide receivers, and also like a Christian Watson getting back into the fold, plus 260 to score a touchdown today, maybe something to take a look at.
All right, this next one here, I'm expecting points. That's Texans-Jaguars, 44.5, my favorite total here on a Sunday. Houston and Jacksonville enter with some defensive injuries. The linebacker core is ripped to shreds for the Jags. No Jimmy Ward for the Houston Texans here. I know Joe Mixon out. I think Cam Akers can actually bounce back off of an inefficient replacement game last week against the Vikings. But more than anything, I think C.J. Stroud goes off. Look for his first breakout 300-plus game here tonight against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I could see points. They had 45 in one matchup last year, 54 in the other. Last team that Jacksonville beat was, in fact, Houston last year. Again, we talked about that performance on Monday night. Pitiful. Yep. They need more out of Trevor Lawrence. Donnie brought up Travis Etienne and the rushing attack. If you're ever going to take Jacksonville, I know people got burned on Monday night. I'm willing to take a shot because it's a divisional game on the road. I think they give it their best effort. Might not win, but I like them to cover the 5.5, and I like the over.
Yeah, no Joe Mixon in this game, which I also think would be interesting if Nico Collins, who is hobbled with that hamstring, he bows out early. Already no Tank at wide receiver. So now you're saying, okay, maybe it's just the Stephon Diggs show. Let's flip it over to Jacksonville and their perspective. They got beat like a drum. And sometimes you have to respond when your season is over. I understand. But also, it's not as if Trevor Lawrence has looked good to start this season. He needs a bounce-back effort, which is why we were handicapping. I'm saying to myself, you have to rely on Travis Etienne. He has to be explosive today if you're going to win this football game. But also, this isn't the same Houston team I expected entering into this week. They're so banged up on offense, and the defense may be a little bit more susceptible. No, like, Doug Peterson might be walking the plank after this game. 0-4, it's a wrap on the season, and that probably means that Trevor Lawrence didn't play well. You can't have that on a guy you invested a couple $100 million on. Can't have it.
I'm wondering if Brian Thomas can also have a big game. We thought he would have a little bit better of a game in that one against Buffalo.
2 yards.
There's something to keep an eye on. I know you left you waiting there, DRS. Colts, Steelers, look, there's a few sides I really like today. This is another one where I'm on Indianapolis plus 2.5 here. I think they win this game outright. I think Anthony Richardson will be surprising people here, 225.5 passing plus rushing. I think he will be able to get through that number here. This offense at home under Shane Steichen has scored at least 19 in every single game, 20-plus in all but one. And from what I've seen from the Steelers, they top out at 20. They don't get to 20 today. The Colts win this outright.
No, we disagree. That offense seems to be humming with Pittsburgh and Justin Fields now. Yeah, humming. Najee Harris, Fields for over 200, actually scored a touchdown last week. I don't see Anthony Richardson being able to outscore Justin Fields because of the Pittsburgh secondary. To me, that's the difference. I like Pittsburgh, but I'm leaning to the over 40.5.
Najee on the ground. That Pittsburgh defense gets after Anthony Richardson. 3 turnovers for the Colts today as the Pittsburgh Steelers continue to win as we wait for the return of Russell Wilson.
How did you manage a way to take shots at both of us in that breakdown?
By the way, what happens if they lose this week? And it's like Tomlin's like, big smile. But Tom, why are you smiling? Finally got my guy Russ back in here.
Nothing to worry about. Quickly, Rams, Bears. In this game, I'm on Roma Dunze, 39.5 over.
I like Stafford as a dog. I know the numbers don't suggest it. Rams outright.
All right, we'll begin with Tampa Bay and Philly as we continue the whip around here on Pro Football Today.
right here with you on Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. Odds in motion, trying to see what lines have moved throughout the week.
Never felt more comfortable in this set than I do for this year. I am ready. I'm just getting angry. The hot takes are going to be here all people.
What in the world is going on in Miami, Dom?
It's not particularly anything to shy away from just because many people are on top of it.
Hot take, hot take.
I think this line is asking you once again to take New Orleans.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
The sharpest football contest show in the land, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show, focuses on Circa Sports Million, Circa Survivor, and the Westgate Super Contest, handicapping the games and releasing our contest picks every week of the season. With two former Super Contest winners, Brady Cannon and James Salinas, a former NFL player, Mike Pritchard, and over $1 million in contest prize money won combined, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show will have you prepared this season like none other.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than game time decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
All right, whip around, baby. We keep it moving here in Philadelphia. Birds, Bucks. Excited for this one, big one in the household today. Can't wait to watch it play out. I'm on Hurts anytime. I'm on Hurts over 39.5 rushing. I think the Philadelphia Eagles are the best team in football. I think they still win this game despite all the injuries.
Well, hopefully they score 30 in terms of this matchup because I think Tampa Bay could be live as a 1.5-point underdog at home. It's back-to-back road games for the Eagles. They did beat them in the playoffs. I just think that the revenge factor, everybody putting that in. I like Tampa Bay to bounce back after they got shut out by Denver basically last week. I do love the over, though. Now we're seeing 42.5 in terms of this matchup. Expect a big day out of Baker in that passing game. I think they win it, but I love the over.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that Eagles secondary holds up against Chris Godwin and Evans. And you remember last year, now different defensive coordinator, that playoff game, they just ran roughshod over the Eagles secondary. I don't think that happens today. I look at that total 41.5, and I do want to lean towards the under, but then I have that same thought process, like, wait a second. Down a lot of weapons last week. The Eagles went up and down the field on a pretty good Saints defense. They should be able to do that same thing, but I don't buy it. Also, I don't buy the line. It's one of those where I'm having a tough time reading it. Last week, I didn't understand. I was like, hey, look at that. The Saints, they should be able to win easily, at least by a field goal. They end up losing outright. I think it's a tough spot for the Philadelphia Eagles. They get the bye week next week. I don't think they win today. Just don't.
Wow.
Yeah.
By the time we get to 1 o'clock, you'll think they win. Don't worry. I can feel you slowly. You're coming around there. You'll be in on Philly. Don't worry about it there. Lisi's all about this over. You know who Lisi likes in that game, though? Did you see it? We shook him, Donnie. We finally shook him.
Wow.
By the way,
Yep.
I'm the resident Bush. I'm the resident Bush.
We got the wheel turning.
I was just going to say, hang on, if the Eagles win this game, Super Bowl ticket. Super Bowl. NFC Championship.
By the way, big news. Carver and Lisi just dropped Justice Hill mid-show. Interesting.
Wow.
Breaking news.
Moves being made behind your back. All right, let's get to the 4 o'clock. Niners, Patriots. Oh, I love this game. New England plus 10.5. The mini-bye. The power of the mini-bye. And also, San Francisco is still banged up as can be. No Hargrave. I don't think Trent Williams plays here. Pats hang throughout. Upset alert in the Bay.
Well, the mini-bye is what we call it in the industry. That's what you said in regards to that, the earlier breakdown. I don't see any way New England scores more than 10 points in terms of this matchup. Bounce-back spot for me for San Francisco. I think they absolutely abuse the New England Patriots here. Juwan Jennings, another breakout performance. I think he blows through his number, has that relationship with Brock Purdy. Ayuk getting involved with Shanahan throughout the course of the week. Wrong shorts. He got yelled at. Give me Juwan Jennings. This team wins by double digits, and I mean 14 or more.
It's one that you like, Joe, because you saw, a double-digit lead against the Rams. They blew that. They're going to probably have a double-digit lead in this game and keep that hammer down. The 49ers by 2 touchdowns for me as well. There's no way you like the Patriots. So
don't worry.
You're just trolling us.
Listen, all I know is last week, Juwan Jennings, clear skies, Lisi no interest. Kittle back, Debo back.
Yep.
Ayuk motivation spot.
Now you catch him off guard.
Jennings.
Yep.
All right, let's keep going through the 4 o'clocks here. Lisi's favorite football team, the Commanders, in action against the Cardinals. This total dropping 58.5, pounded. 49.5, pounded. This number 48.5, Lisi, they're selling this total.
Yeah, because Arizona lost 20-13. They were held in check by Detroit. They're expecting, a letdown in regards to Jaden Daniels and that performance on Monday night. But again, I keep bringing it up. They haven't punted since week 1 in the fourth quarter. I mean, he's getting very acclimated with the offensive scheme. As long as Terry McLaurin's involved in that offense, I think they can challenge Arizona over the top. But that doesn't mean Kyler and Marvin Harrison can't score in regards to this matchup. I like Washington to continue, even though it's back-to-back games. Jaden Daniels is the real deal. I love the over 48.5.
Yeah, you take a look at this because Washington's defense certainly isn't very good, but neither is the Arizona Cardinals. It has one of those feels for me like Arizona's up late in that game and can the Commanders on that final drive either A, win the football game or just stay within inside that 3.5 number. I'm more apt to take the points in this game, but I do think that we are going to score, and I absolutely love Kyler Murray in this game, Marvin Harrison. I do think Jaden Daniels has a great chance to move the football as well. This should be one of the more fun games at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, I agree. Could we get you in 600 yards, Daniels and Murray?
Wow. No, I like Ryan Robinson on the ground today, 66.5. I think he can find the end zone, just like I think Ramondre Stevenson in that game prior for New England can find the end zone there. I cannot believe the boys are doubting. That's all right. We pick ourselves up here. Chiefs, Chargers. Get this game away from me. Of course I lean Chargers. I've watched the Chiefs play football since Pat's been there. There's only one way to lean is the Chargers, but I'm not, I can't, I won't. I don't want to be involved with this game.
All right, I would take the points. I'm not going to bet it. I would bet it in regards to the prop market. I will take a shot on Kelsey to score an anytime touchdown. Okay. I mentioned he had a good performance last year. People talking him down. This is an opportunity for Pat Mahomes to force feed him. I would take a shot, too, if we get a scoreless 8 minutes in the first quarter. You want to dip that number into the mid-30s? I'll take a shot in that regard. But outside of that, it's just props.
I think Jim Harbaugh, again, we've always wanted to have a competent coach in L.A. You have that now. He finds a way to keep this game close, which means J.K. Dobbins, get ready. You're going to need that ice tub after this game. I look for that ground game to keep it close with Kansas City. But Kansas City makes just enough plays to win this game. But I'll take the points.
All right, Browns, Raiders. 36.5. Does this game speak to anybody? Come on, who wants to confidently bet this over? This could be the highest scoring game of the day. Breakout, Jacoby Myers, Amari Cooper.
I'll say this. I'm not a buyer of Deshaun Watson in that offense. This is a must-win game for them to prove that they can beat up on somebody. But they couldn't do it on the Giants. And I know Gardner Minshew and that team have looked terrible. But I'll take the home team laying the 2.5. I can't look any other way. The 36.5, maybe you can get me in on that, but my best look would be the Raiders here. I think they're just a little more physical.
Like the Browns want to pull me back in because you just look at that number and say, wait a second, the Browns just have to beat the Raiders without their best football player, basically in a free fall at this point, and that Cleveland front seven should be able to eat that Raiders team. And let us say, I wish they were getting points as opposed to laying points at this point.
But also, Myles Garrett's not healthy going into this game, right? I mean, realistically, with the foot injury. Is he? Yeah. I look at this spot here.
You like the total, huh? We'll see. Let's see how the 1 o'clocks go, all right?
John Metier back there.
By 4 o'clock.
Back there, you'd be flying away on this total. You love this Metier. That would all start opening it up here. Around the corner, Sunday Night Football, Bills-Ravens. Best bets, anytime touchdown scorers, and everything else you need before we kick off for Week 4 on an NFL Sunday here on SportsGrid.
right here with you on Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. Odds in motion, trying to see what lines have moved throughout the week.
Never felt more comfortable in this set than I do for this year. I'm just getting takes are going to be here all long, people.
What in the world is going on in Miami, guys?
It's not particularly anything to shy away from just because many people are on top of it.
Hot take.
I think this line is asking you once again to take New Orleans.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
The sharpest football contest show in the land, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show, focuses on Circus Sports Million, Circus Survivor, and the Westgate Super Contest, handicapping the games and releasing our contest picks every week of the season. With two former Super Contest winners, Brady Cannon and James Salinas, a former NFL player, Mike Pritchard, and over $1 million in contest prize money won combined, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show will have you prepared this season like none other.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than game time decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Pro Football Today, Kevin Walsh, Donnie Rightside, Joe Lisi. Let's get a Sunday night football. Best bets and anytime touchdown scores are right around the corner. We have a huge one in Baltimore with Buffalo stopping by a 2.5-point line there. If you can see through Donnie Rightside, I can't help myself.
There you go.
There you go. Great work there, DRS. All right, back in the frame. All right, talk to me now. 2.5-point number, 46.5 total. How are you betting this game, Joe?
I like Buffalo. I like them on the money line, plus the 116. I think they're clearly the more complete team. I think I do like that pick, and I think Josh Allen steps up. I think we do go over the 46.5. But I think the Bills are for real. I like them preseason, not backing down now, even though Derrick Henry broke out last week.
The gauntlet starts, as Kevin pointed out earlier in the show, for the Buffalo Bills. They win this football game, you got to be a serious contender to win the Super Bowl at that point, something I didn't think the Buffalo Bills were to enter in the season. Having said that, it's a big spot, and I think the spot's right for the Baltimore Ravens. The pressure game was last week. They handled that with style and grace. I don't care what the final score was. They were the better team. At home tonight in Baltimore, you give me the Baltimore Ravens. Let's go.
Fashionable?
Okay. Anyway. Fashionable, profitable. That's the way we do it here.
I'm on Dalton Kincaid over 30.5 receiving yards, breakout spot against the Baltimore defense who has not contained tight ends. Lean Ravens and under on a Sunday night. We'll see how these numbers move throughout the day. Best bet time here.
Let's go.
With Joe Lisi batting leadoff. Talk to me,
Yeah,
Joe.
I lost a couple of heartbreak totals over back-to-back weeks. I lost the Washington, New York Giant one, and I lost last week with Najee Harris inching to the goal line. He could have gotten it for me. But I like the total in regards to Jalen Hurts, Philly, Tampa Bay rematch of last year's wild card game. I think Tampa pushes a little bit of tempo. I expect a bounce back out of both offenses. They both played unders last week. I altered it as high as 46.5. I think we blow through this total later today.
Interesting one on that, too, Joe, because in that graphic was Jalen Hurts. That's the key to it right now. Like, I truly believe if Jalen Hurts has a good ground game today, they can get it. It's not a lot of points. Two teams getting in the low 20s. You got that here. For me, come on now. It's Joe Burrow. We're 0-3. The boys are going down to Carolina. Bad defense. Healthy wide receivers. I have no idea what they put in the water because I'm reading T. Higgins is happy. Jamar Chase is loving life. Despite nobody. Money doesn't make you happy, I guess, down there at that point. Today, you know what's getting happy? Over 1.5 touchdown passes for Joe Burrow. It's expensive, minus 150, but I do think it's worth it. No way they go down in this game and lose, and if they do, they're dropping 30 points, which means Joe Burrow has a big day. 2 touchdowns for him for me.
Nice look.
This is also just a bit of a step up spot for the Crew.
I didn't realize that.
I feel like we all could really use a win here. And you know, when you could use the win, you got to go with what's working. I've done 2 sides as the best bet. I've lost both of those. I've done 1 team total. So today, we go back to the sides. New England Patriots plus 10.5. Do not listen to what they say. They are lost in the sauce. In fact, I wouldn't like this if they were on it. This is an island game. I need to be on my own here with the New England Patriots. It's me, Ramondre Stevenson, and Gerard Mayo going into the Bay. to potentially strike that upset, baby. The New England Patriots on this mini-bye have an injury advantage, a rest advantage, and they're going to run it with Ramondre Lisi here. Come on now. Did I sell you? Again, one more sell me something.
No,
Patriots?
not on that pick, no. I mean, they have to win this game. The only way they can win it is if they triple option, 6-3 total.
I like that.
There you go.
That's my good. I don't have to say, look, remember Tom Hanks, man, he was on the island looking real skinny, eating crabs out there, having some fun. That might be Kevin
Wilson looked good, too, right?
Wilson!
Come on, Sue fits a little bit better these days. They might start confusing me for someone else here. All right, touchdown scores. Now this, we've been hotted. All right, we've done well here with our best bets in the touchdown market. The crew wanted me to let you know they love Marvin Harrison Jr. If you like a squad ride, get involved. If you're like Lisi, find an anytime no market since the entire team is on it. Let's call it what it is. Lisi, your best touchdown scorer today.
Well, if Donnie believes Joe Burrow is going to be over 1.5 touchdowns, we know about Chase, but the forgotten man is T. Higgins. Did have some receptions on Monday night, but I think he hits pay dirt. Plus 195 down right now to plus 180. Give me T. Higgins, baby.
Imagine betting Chase today when Higgins is right there. I like your call, Lisi. You like Donnie?
This is absolutely terrible calling Higgins. By the way, double down on Jamar Chase. Make up for that T. Higgins money, and we'll be fine today. Let's go. Anytime, Jamar Chase.
I do love that in the bread. It's like, listen, people are going to look Chase. Forget it.
Well, what am I going to say? I mean, there's 2 wide receivers.
I think he did that to fade my pick, though.
No, I had no idea. He knows. I don't even look.
Yes, I can confirm Lisi had no clue when it came to your pick. Jalen Hurts.
Wow.
Plus 155.
How does he get it, though? How does he get it?
Push, baby.
Okay.
Oh, no.
We're not rumbling?
Oh, I mean, he might rumble.
40-yard run?
Okay.
Here's the reality, folks. That 2+ is live if you need to get involved. I mean, Lisi's got this game into the mid-60s, so why not if you're Jalen Hurts? Keep on moving, baby. Joe Lisi, Donnie Rightside, Kevin Walsh. We'll see you for a Monday doubleheader. Best of luck on the action week 4.
It's a new era in CFP to start off this year, put on full display.
My take on this game is simple. I know some people will be upset about it. Good riddance to the Pac-12.
Can you do it in terms of the week to week to week?
I don't see a pathway for this team to miss the college football playoffs.
We want to make sure you have those best bets in the entirety of our betting cards.
That was thinking! But he had that program was already going there!
Only on SportsGrid.
Crew has already clinched the National League Central. They're 2 games behind L.A., that being the Dodgers, trying to maybe get the 2nd seed in the National League standings for October.
Both of these teams have a chance to score some runs against these pitching matchups, so maybe another over, even though we do have a playoff atmosphere. And yes, Milwaukee did clinch, but there's still an eye on the prize of we might be able to chase down the Dodgers and also the Phillies to get one of those buys.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
Brian Daboll has been feeling it. He's in a foul mood. He's having stare-downs with Pat Leonard and everything else.
John Mara wants Brian Daboll to go and get the next quarterback. They tried to get the next quarterback. We all watched it on Hard Knocks. They couldn't end up with Daniels. They couldn't end up with May. So they said, okay, we'll run it back a year. We'll go get Neighbors, and we'll tolerate.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on